Guys, April 17th, let's do a Q&A. We haven't done a Q&A in quite a while. We're seating here. Okay, so I'm going to try and answer some of the questions that I've seen on YouTube. And to be honest with you guys, it's hard for me to even scroll through that. Not because I don't love it. It's just because it's not my full-time job. Alright, so question number one. Mike, with all the units, how many do you have? We're running 5, okay? Do you run them all together on one field? The answer is no. The only time we'll do that is if we get into some pretty big fields, then we might do that, okay? So what we'll do is we'll split them off. We'll send 2 over here or 3 over there, or maybe, it all depends on what you're seeding and logistics. Maybe we're seeding something nearly 70 miles away and we need lots of trucks to keep it away. Maybe then we just send 2 drills up there, so that way we can have enough trucking power to keep the fertilizer and the seed going to them, right? Because the more drills you send up there, the more trucking power you gotta have. So we only have so many trucks and so many operators. Great question. Okay, so question number 2. What crop do you typically start with? Again, guys, these are all loaded questions. It depends on the soil temperature, which if you can't hold your butt on the ground, and I cannot, it means it's cold. So if the ground is super duper cold, I'll typically start with a cereal such as wheat or durum. Preferably I like to start with lentils, but lentils do pretty good in cold ground too. But if I'm gonna leave something in the ground for up to 3, maybe 4 weeks in cold, dormant ground, I'm not gonna leave lentils, okay? I'm gonna put the durum in there. It's a little tougher in my opinion. All right, next question, question number 3. Mike, sorry here, I'm just trying to look at some stuff. What do you guys do for food out there? Great question. So, everybody has to pack their own food. So Ashton, obviously, Ashton is my wife, and she is freaking awesome. She wakes up extra early to pack not only her own lunch, but mine as well. So what she has packed me today, let's just take a look. She has no idea what I'm doing here. This is a hot burrito with eggs and bacon and everything inside. I do have a few sandwiches. I have a smoothie. I got some baked goods, some chips. What else we got under here? I got, I also have a soup, a taco soup, hence the cheese and the tacos to break it in and put it on my taco soup. I got water, I got a Gatorade, I got some fresh vegetables, I got some more baked goods, and I also have a salad. So, as you can see, I eat like a king, and that is pretty much an everyday thing. I don't know how I'm not 500 pounds. Must be my metabolism, I don't know. But anyways, everyone has to make their own lunch. We do not provide any food. Great question. I have another question. How did you survive before you ever met Ashton? Great question. I wouldn't wake up and pack such a luxury looking lunch. I would literally take like a loaf of bread. I'd grab a bunch of cheese and some salami or some sort of meat and some mayonnaise of some sort, and I'd just bring it all with me, and I'd try and stick it in my fridge down here, and I would literally make sandwiches while I seed. That way you didn't have to wake up early and pre-make anything. And then I would typically bring a tall thermos of hot water, which normally I have. That way I could throw in, I just make what do you call those, little itchy band? Yeah, that's every bachelor's thing, and believe me, I did that for about 30 years of my life here. But like those little itchy bands, you just peel the packet off, you pour some hot water in there, and then you would have some soup for the afternoon. So it worked. I'm still alive. Okay, well, next question. Mike, where do you go to the bathroom out there, buddy? Like, if you're gonna be out there for all day and you're gonna eat that kind of food, like, surely enough, that's gonna go through you sooner or later, good sir. Where are you gonna go? You do your number 1s and number 2s. Well, you're looking at it. You're not going home. You're going outside. So, depending on your situation, you might want to go over a hill and take care of that business. Next question, Mike. What are your hours of a typical operation? While we work 6 days a week, we take Sundays off. Now this year has been a very cold start, so we've been taking it pretty easy, fairly relaxed, because we're a little worried about putting too many acres in the ground, just because we're pumping a lot of acres in the ground, you guys, and it ain't gonna come up for a long time. And like I said, I don't like seeding twice, but right now we're doing 7 to 10s. We start at 7 a.m. and then we go to 10 p.m. But it is not uncommon for us to start at 6 and go to midnight. The problem is with those hours is you start getting such a little amount of sleep, and then you can start making mistakes. So we all work pretty hard around here, everybody does. But this year, it's laxed hours. We call them banker hours. We're working banker hours this year. We're doing 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. banker hours. Next question, Mike, do you put all your inputs down at one time? In the majority of cases, yes, we do. But we are a little concerned this year because you're not guaranteed nothing in the Southwest other than you are guaranteed. I'll rephrase that. Only thing you're guaranteed in Southwest Saskatchewan, way down where we are, is wind and heat. Those two things you are guaranteed. Anything else, you are not. So, it's been super dry. We've been seeding into a lot of dry dirt. Everyone else got moisture, we have not. That's fine. So you just need to manage your risk. So we might start backing down on some of our inputs. We can put that on later if we actually see some rain coming. But you got to be able to mitigate your risk. That is one of the #1 things farmers have to do, and that goes for anything. Next question, Mike. How come we don't see an interview or get some of the rest of your family, maybe your parents, how everything begun and everything? Well, the reason why is, great question by the way, is because not everyone is super fan of the camera. So we want to respect that. My older brother and his family, not so much. My parents, working on them. So we want to respect that, okay? So that's the reason why you don't really see a lot of that. Next question. So Mike, can you just run me through your drill one more time just to help me understand this? Sure. So this is a paralink opener, right? Means it's completely independent. Each one, and there's 84 because there's one every 12 inches, it's 84 feet, is completely independent from the other one. So if this one was to go up on, say, a great big mound of dirt or something, this one would go up, and this one, if it missed it, it would stay the same. So you're keeping the same depth all the time, up and down, down here, up and down, all while keeping consistent packing pressure, okay? So seeding technology has definitely come a long way, and these are the mid-row banders, okay? So there is one mid-row bander for every 2 shanks. So we drop our nitrogen and our sulfur right between those 2 shanks. You see it? Hence it's a mid-row bander. Okay? All right, next question. How fast can you seed, Mike? Well, when we're seeding our cereals, your wheat and your durum, or maybe even some pulses like chickpeas and lentils and so on and so forth, we seed at about 4.8 miles per hour. When we're seeding smaller grains such as canola, we're seed 1 mile an hour slower at 3.8 miles an hour. What happens if you go too fast, buddy? Can you walk us through that? What happens if you go, why can't you do 10 mile an hour? First of all, you could never pull this at that speed. The fastest you would ever be able to pull this puppy loaded, well, we can't even pull it at 4.8. Anyway, if you go too fast, say you get your cart empty, all of a sudden you found a whole pile of renewed power, the dirt that hits here is going to hit it faster, and you're going to start throwing your dirt farther, and you're going to throw your dirt on, well, let's just move up here. We're on the last shank for a second. Let's move up to this one. You're going to throw your dirt onto your buddy here, okay? So then you're going to add extra dirt that this poor little seed has to come through, and you're hucking dirt around, and if you throw it away too fast, it won't actually fill back in and bury your seed. Okay, you're just literally hucking dirt all over the place, and then you're just leaving a nice little trench with all your seeds in it. It's not actually falling back in to get packed down. So you don't want to do that. Goes Rickles in the sprayer. Woo, he just fit, I think. That's awesome. Mike, I got a question, buddy. Got a question. Are you spraying what you already seeded? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Called a post burn. Post burn is you seed it and then you go out and spray it. He's actually just spot spraying right now, to be honest with you. Spot spraying some sloughs and some couple first rounds. A pre-burn is a burn, which means you go out there, just so you know, just so we're all talking on the same thing here. A burn is what us farmers slang as you load up some Roundup, you load up some other herbicide, maybe your AIM or DB878 or whatever concoction you want to put in. It really depends on what weeds you're going for and what crop you're going to have come through. And then you go and you spray it prior to seeding it to kill all the weeds, because the last thing you want to do is seed into a whole pile of weeds and they're going to come up and choke out your crop before you can do a spray in crop, okay? Because you get to spray it in crop too for most crops you do. Post burn is you seed it and you worry about the weeds later. That's not necessarily a good thing. I have not had good experience in post burn, so we try and do everything in a pre-burn, unless there's no weeds coming. Can you please explain why we have a yellow pylon, orange pylon out in the field other than yourself? Well, you see, this rope has been strategically measured by Lee. You pull it completely straight out just like this, keep it in line, and then he's gonna stop on his second last axle of the Super Bee right here. When he stops right here, it is absolutely perfect for me to load up my nitrogen. Then he will back up and he'll stop with his landing gear, get out of the way here, the landing gear on the first trailer right here, and we're absolutely perfect for me to load my FOSS and my seed. We're just trying to make this as fast and efficient as possible. That's it for the day. If you guys have some questions, title it Mike I Have a Question in the comment section. I will try and get to as many as I can, and I'll try and answer as many as I can in the next Q&A. Otherwise, you guys stay cool, have a good one, and I'm just loading up some snow in my tank, no big deal. And by snow I mean nitrogen. Have a good one.